It's the usual packed house at Soldier Field here in Chicago as Week 1 continues and kicks off here on CBS. The Colts and the Bears. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf on a beautiful September afternoon in Chicago, Illinois, with the temperature just at about 70 degrees and a slight wind out of the north at 15 miles an hour. Is Jay Cutler in his 4th year now with the Bears. His season cut short by injury last year. A shotgun on his right shoulder, looking to lead the Bears back to the postseason.
And I think if you would have polled the Bears fans, they think this is perfect. Starting on offense, they have been waiting all offseason to see how quickly this thing can jump.
Matt Forte, the deep back, behind Cutler. And Cutler going to throw on first down. If he can, he can't. He's buried inside the 5-yard line. Robert Mathis.
End zone. Wow.
This is Forte. Maybe back to the 5-yard line. Well, the key to any Chicago success this year will be protecting Jay Cutler. 3rd-year left tackle Jamarcus Webb has Cutler's blind side. And Cutler has the big target he's been yearning for in former Denver teammate Brandon Marshall, who has averaged 1,100 yards receiving over the last 5 seasons.
Well, you work on different scenarios during the week leading up to a game. I can pretty much guarantee you the Bears did not work on 3rd and 21 with Cutler standing on his own goal line.
The rookie Alshon Jeffrey is in a wide receiver. Dropped the ball, picked it up, on the move, throws it over the middle, incomplete for Jeffrey.
Well, it was a bad snap. It was just the snap appeared to be low.
Deferring.
That's right, deferring, putting his defense out there first. They did a 3 and out. Look at this field position.
So the rookie gets his NFL career underway right now. Play fake. And it's a completion out of the backfield. Dominique Jones plays a little bit of H-back, plays a little bit of tight end.
Well, the Colts have 3 rookies on their roster at the tight end position. Here's play action that really worked. His line came through with good protection. A very simple little dump off. But look at Luck survey the field. He looks to the middle, he looks to the left, and did his 3rd check down all the way back to the right to Jones.
2nd and 2.
Run 90! Run it up!
This is Donald Brown, and Brown will be stacked up short of the first down. The charge led by Israel Idonije. Up front for the Colts, they have an outstanding left tackle, and Anthony Costanzo out of Boston College, last year's 1st-round pick. And the familiar face on offense for Colts fans, that of Reggie Wayne in his 12th season, his 11,708 receiving yards, number 22 all-time in the NFL. There is Chuck Pagano, the first-year head coach for the Colts, who spread the field on 3rd and 3.
Middle!
Luck got it away and overthrew Reggie Wayne, who was open on the far side of the field. At him, that would be a pretty big loss for the Bears.
He has a Pro Bowler last year. They're looking at his lower leg.
Meanwhile, on first down from the shotgun, Cutler throwing out his own ball, picked off, touchdown, Indianapolis, Gerald Freeman.
Wow, and Freeman, an inside linebacker, just undercuts the route. And obviously, Jay Cutler never saw him through a perfect strike. He's just floating out into the flat right there from his inside linebacker position. Cutler's locked in on Forte and throws it right to him.
Jay Cutler has thrown.
Adding the ball back.
On first down, this is Forte, and Forte is wrapped up by Cavell Connor. And this is a fired-up Colt defense.
Well, Cavell Connor is the other inside linebacker in this hybrid 3-4 that the Colts are switching to. that Chuck Pagano brought with him from Baltimore, where he was a defensive coordinator. Guys like Robert Mathis there, Dwight Freeney, going to have to adjust to standing up, playing the outside linebacker position a little bit more. Now they'll get down in their 3-point, but there's Freeney at the bottom of your screen there in a 2-point stance.
Under pressure. And decked in the backfield. It'll be 3rd and 10.
This is just jaw-dropping, the problems that the Bears are having. And Cutler, hoping that play action opened up the backside where the Colts would rush down the line of scrimmage, not upfield. Well, that didn't work out. He's got 2 Colts right in his face and takes a shot for his trouble.
So now it's 3rd and 10. Running, throwing, over the middle, and that's complete across the 30 to Brandon Marshall for the first down.
Well, we talked about Andrew Luck and his athleticism, but anyone who's followed the NFL for years knows that Jay Cutler can really run, and he can buy himself some extra time. And that time the Colts brought a 6-man rush. They came with the blitz, and he broke containment. That was all Jay Cutler. Well done. Maybe this Bears offense can settle down a little bit. I'm sure there's some wide eyes in that huddle before that first down pickup about, wow, what's going wrong?
On first down, full screen out here, incomplete to Forte. Let's check the Indianapolis defense. The Colts' brand new 3-4 defense. They expect big results from veteran defensive end Corey Redding in his 10th NFL season, his first with the Colts. A couple of guys who used to play defensive end, now at outside linebacker. Great pass rushers in Robert Mathis and 7-time Pro Bowler Dwight Freeney. And Indy shoring up the secondary with the recent trade to acquire 4th-year cornerback Vontae Davis from the Miami Dolphins. 2nd and 10. Coming this way is Forte, cutting it up. Running room, inside the 40 to the 35.
Well, give some credit to Jamarcus Webb, the left tackle. He makes a good block at the point attack, and he got the seal that allows C73, see him coming around the corner. That is a good job. And he gets the edge, and then Matt Forte does what he does best. There's Webb's block. You see Rodriguez, 48, gets a good cut that springs Forte as well. And wow, was this an offense in desperate need of a big play.
Michael Bush in the backfield.
Forte split out wide to the left as a receiver.
Cutler with time overthrew his intended receiver. Kellen Davis, the tight end.
Well, I think this is a situation where Cutler reads the defense and how they roll up on Forte. And when he reads that, he's throwing to a spot. And you can see that Davis broke off his pattern. I mean, Jay Cutler is throwing to where he expected Davis to be. He read one thing with that coverage, and Kellen Davis read something else.
That's Dwight Freeney getting a tape job on his left ankle. 2nd and 10. Cutler deep down the near sideline. And that's intercepted in the end zone? No, he couldn't hold on. Gerard Powers drew a bead on it.
He had it, and it looked like it came out when he contacted the ground. Again, Jay Cutler hoping that the inside belongs to Marshall, and Marshall being the taller guy, not able to elevate. He couldn't get himself turned, and you can see pretty clearly the ball just pops right off the chest of Gerard Powers when he hits the ground.
Bears offensive coordinator Mike Tice said there would be a concerted effort to get Brandon Marshall involved right off the bat from the shotgun. Cutler on the move, down the middle. Incomplete, penalty marker.
Trying to find Earl Bennett.
And Justin King appeared to be guilty of the interference. First down for the Bears. At the Indy 16, Cutler for Jeffrey. He was covered, and Cutler threw it out of bounds.
Well, that's Alshon Jeffrey, their very talented second-round draft pick this year, who has got a huge, what they call a receiving radius. He's 6'3" with a big wingspan, and I think Jay Cutler, with Jeffrey on one side, Brandon Marshall at 6'4" on the other, is going to be very comfortable throwing a lot of jump balls this season and letting those two big guys go up and compete for the football.
Second and 10. This is Forte to the 10, to the 5, to the 2-yard line, and a first and goal.
Well, that was a good-looking play because it looked like a pass. Jay Cutler dropping back, and then a little bit of the delayed handoff to Forte, and a lot of the Colts were already upfield, and a good job at the point of attack by Gabe Karimi. There was a pin-down block by Lance Lewis. He even got Alshon Jeffrey, the rook, downfield, trying to get his big body in the way.
First and goal from the 1. This is Michael Bush. Tripped before he ever got started and got back to the line of scrimmage. Michael Bush in his first season here in Chicago after 4 years in Oakland.
Well, Michael Bush is a big guy, and boy, and he just kind of bristles a little bit when you just try to paint him as a big physical running back. He goes, I can make people miss too. But when you talk to Mike Tice, their offensive coordinator, says, look, Michael Bush will get us the dirty yards. He'll get us the tough yards. He's a tough dude.
He's going to get it again, this time to the goal line for the touchdown.
He is a really nice compliment to Matt Forte, and a good pickup for the Bears when they got Michael Bush. And, you know, sometimes a team needed a touchdown drive more than others. That was one of those situations for Chicago after that terrible start.
Dan, once again, Evan Rodriguez has been the lead blocker on a number of plays. Luck from the shotgun on first down. Over the middle. That is complete to Reggie Wayne.
Well, there's a couple old veterans meeting at the middle of the field. Reggie Wayne and Brian Urlacher. 13-year player, a 12-year guy. So many team records, so many Pro Bowls.
You know, all the discussion that's taken place about Brian Urlacher, he was very precise and succinct when we talked to him on Friday. Basically, it's his belief it's nobody's business.
No, he said, I'll take care of myself. I'll get myself ready to play.
Luck eludes the rush and throws incomplete.
Well, this, again, the pocket just collapses. Lance Briggs, one of the guys who came in on a blitz in addition to the defensive lineman coming, but right up the middle. And again, here's Luck, though. He shows you some of that athleticism. He fights off an arm tackle. You know, right there, he's on his own. That's Julius Peppers that had him by the left arm. But then he ends up taking a pretty good hit from Toina.
Third and short yardage for the Colts. Donald Brown in the backfield. Luck going to throw for it. On the move. And to the 30-yard line and a first down.
Well, so far the Chicago Bears are getting what they want, and that is pressure with only 4 people. And there's a little bit of a, you know, and then you force him out of the pocket. Yep, he picked up the first down. He moved the sticks, but he paid a pretty good price for it. You saw him get hit both in the front, and he took a really good shot back in the kidney area.
The Colts pick up their first down of the day.
I'm not sure you want to see number 12 doing that with that much regularity. Not much of the future in that.
Donald Brown goes nowhere. Henry Melton came right up the middle.
And with a defense with marquee names like Urlacher and Julius Peppers and Lance Briggs, Henry Melton is one of those guys that just flies under the radar. The 4th-year guy out of Texas. He didn't come into the league as a real marquee guy, 4th-round draft pick. He had 7 sacks last year, better than any other defensive tackle in the NFC. I mean, this guy is a football player, and a lot of people don't know about it.
2nd and 14. Quick pass, this side, complete to Levon Brazil. And Brazil across the 35 to about the 37-yard line.
Now, Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator for the Colts, those are the kind of throws that are going to make Andrew Luck happy. A design, quick, wide receiver screen, but pass rush doesn't come into play. It's get the ball, plant, release, and deliver. There's Bruce Arians.
You know, I thought it was interesting. Everybody's wondering about Andrew Luck's readiness. Bruce Arians told us, I gave him the whole playbook.
Yeah, and he said it's everybody else that can't keep up. Arians, of course, 8 years in Pittsburgh.
Luck, far side, and overthrows Reggie Wayne. He was under pressure in the backfield.
Well, he goes down again, and I think it was the Colts' #1 draft pick this time that got in there on him. Coming around from the top, yep, that's Shea McClellan, and he was the Bears' #1 pick from Boise State, and he gets around Costanzo with a nifty spin move.
Bears take over at their 20-yard line. Dwight Freeney on the sideline. We'll tell you about him in just a moment. Play fake. Cutler. Looking for Brandon Marshall, knocked down by Zibikowski.
Wow, and Jay Cutler took a real chance with that throw because Zibikowski was sitting there underneath, and that's not a good sign for the Colts. Dwight Freeney. It was just one of those plays where Jamarcus Webb, the left tackle for the Bears right here, number 73, he's into Freeney. That's perfectly legal, but then as he slides to the ground, Freeney's left ankle kind of gets trapped underneath, and he's not holding a helmet, and he looks pretty discouraged. Jerry Hughes, number 92, on the last snap was in there for Freeney at the outside linebacker spot. There's Hughes, former #1 pick.
Second and 10. Straight ahead. Michael Bush just over the 20-yard line.
Why, Boomer, thank you. I'm not.
Think.
The minute he said repository, I started to sweat.
Cutler on third down, going deep, far sideline. It is incomplete. Off the fingertips of Marshall. So Andrew Luck from his own 44. Vic Ballard, 5th round draft pick in the backfield. Gets the handoff. And gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe another yard.
Well, Andrew Luck working on his first quarter here in the National Football League regular season. He got himself a couple short. He's done a good job checking down with the football. Unfortunately, though, he's really been having to work hard. His pocket has collapsed around him. He did a good job moving the chains that time, the last one we looked at, running for a first down. But he has not had the best of pass protection, but when he's had some time, he's gone through his reads pretty well and checked it down sometimes to even the third guy.
3 out of 6 for 26 yards, which is considerably better than what Jay Cutler has produced so far. This is Ballard again. To about the 48-yard line. Julius Peppers making the stop.
Well, you could say, are you saying that because Cutler's 1 for 10?
It is an observation.
Yes, it is an observation. But the one thing Cutler did do was engineer a touchdown drive. Unfortunately, that just got him to the 500-point in touchdowns after throwing a pick six to Jarrell Freeman.
3rd and 5 for Luck and the Colts.
They're making him think the Bears got 2 guys up on the line. They're showing him a 6-man rush.
Reggie Wayne in motion. Settles down in the slot. Luck.
Andrew Luck, say hello to Julius Peppers.
3rd and 1. Luck throws in and out of the hands of Donald Brown. He had a first down and then some. It'll force a punt. Dwight Freeney has gone to the locker room for the Colts with an ankle sprain. His return is questionable. There's Brandon Marshall across the 10 to about the 12, maybe the 13-yard line.
And this is smart. Run a couple slants, run a couple quick hitches, do whatever you can do to get Brandon Marshall and Jay Cutler to kind of elevate their comfort level a little bit. This has been a pretty rocky first quarter so far. Anything but smooth and rhythmic for the Bears offense. So any little things like that can help get it going, do it.
On 2nd and 3, this is Forte. Forte out to the 15-yard line. Looks to be enough for a first down.
I'm pretty sure he got the spot. He actually got beyond it. Well, a good pickup on first down, a good successful positive run. That's what Mike Tice is looking for. You know, he replaced Mike Martz as the offensive coordinator. Now, of course, he's got experience here with Chicago. For the previous 2 years, he was the offensive line coach. Former head coach of the Vikings, tight end in the league. Mike Tice, a popular guy with the players.
Said he scripted the first 10 plays of the game. I'm sure that interception touchdown wasn't on the script. Out into the flat, Forte back to the line of scrimmage, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter.
They need to get Devin Hester a couple chances here.
That's Hester in motion. This is Forte, bouncing to the outside. And hit at about the 20-yard line by Antoine Bethea. Two-time Pro Bowl safety.
Well, that time they actually used Devin Hester coming across the formation, almost making it look like an option to try to string out the defense for Forte.
You see the numbers for Andrew Luck and for Jay Cutler today. The Colts have had no luck whatsoever running the football. And on the receiving end, Reggie Wayne just 1 for 8 yards. 3rd and 4. Cutler throwing complete. That's Earl Bennett. Bennett with a first down out to the 30-yard line.
Well, Earl Bennett there goes in motion, comes in to make a little bit of a stacked formation, trying to get lost behind Brandon Marshall, and he did. And Jay Cutler rewards his one-time Vanderbilt teammate with a good throw.
East, hey, 50, Lion.
On first down, Cutler looks left, throws left. Oh, what a nice play. Nice throw to Brandon Marshall, who pulled it in.
And you know what? You know you're going to take a hit in that cover two. You know that safety sitting right back behind. And we talked before how they tried to squeeze it into that window, and Cutler does it again. But Brandon Marshall knows that Antoine Bethea is coming in, and he's locked in. He got both feet down. Boy, that was a nice job by Brandon Marshall.
New set of downs for the Bears. Cutler going to throw it again. Running out of time. Throw incomplete. Intended for Marshall again. Batted away by Gerard Powers. You know, this is by anyone's account, a new Brandon Marshall. And when you asked him if he was happy here in Chicago, Dan, he said, pinch me.
He stuck his arm out and said, pinch me. I can't believe how fortunate I am. And it was a happy, content Brandon Marshall who realizes this is a wonderful opportunity.
This is Forte. Across midfield, penalty marker is down. Butler steps up, down the middle. Devin Hester, his first catch of the day. Inside the 35 to the 33 and a first down.
It's a thing of beauty when Jay Cutler plants and delivers. When he's got some protection and he sees somebody open downfield, when he makes the decision to go, look at that. That is a rocket ship. That pass is leaving a vapor trail on its way to Devin Hester, who Zibikowski gave all sorts of room. He found a soft spot in the zone that Indy was playing,
50.
And now they've gotten 23 involved.
Hey, Peter! What is that?
This is Forte. Not much there. You know, you're talking about that arm strength. How about the conversation with Mike Shanahan way back when?
Well, it was when Cutler was drafted. I'm sitting in Mike Shanahan's office. I said, Mike, Let's say that the bar is John Elway's arm, and that's a 10.0. What is Jay Cutler? And he looks right at me and goes, 10.1. I said, are you telling me he's got a stronger arm than John Elway? And he goes, yes, I am. I'm not making it up.
Forte in the backfield. The Colts operating on defense. Again, minus White Freedy, who is out right now with an ankle sprain. Over the middle. Oh, what a grab made by Forte to the 10. 5 and out of bounds.
Matt Forte is everything to this football team. First of all, Jay Cutler put it the only place where the ball could be to get a completion because of the coverage, but it took just a highlight one-handed stab by Forte because Cavell Connor actually had decent coverage on Forte. It was a perfect little arcing dump pass from Cutler and a magnificent catch by Matt Forte. That was nice to see.
First and goal inside the 5. Michael Bush in the backfield. Pass this side. Touchdown. Brandon Marshall.
Well, two guys that know each other pretty well, Vontae Davis, Brandon Marshall. They were teammates last year in Miami. The Colts making the trade for Davis, and a really superior job of Brandon Marshall driving him off the ball.
190!
Luck from the 20 to throw. Over the middle. Reggie Wayne, what a catch! Across the 35 to the 37-yard line.
Well, and there he did it against his old teammate, Kelvin Hayes. And this time, Luck looking all the way to the left. He identifies the single coverage. The safety completely out of the picture. Chris Conte was deep down the middle. So he found the one-on-one matchup, and luckily that matchup involved Reggie Wayne. And look at him. He comes down with the ball with one hand and appeared to control it all the way through the catch.
On first down, Luck gonna go deep, far side of the field. That is intercepted at the 20-yard line by Tim Jennings.
And Andrew Luck just didn't put enough air under that football. Tim Jennings makes a spectacular catch, but that was an underthrown pass. 7, and Donnie Avery is the Colts receiver. A little double move there, and he gets past Jennings, but then you can see they both slow down, wait for the ball. Jennings goes up and gets it. What a wonderful, you won't see many wide receivers control a ball like that. But after we watched this play, I got to tell you, I thought the Bears were offsides at the snap of that ball.
Cutler. On first down, over the middle, got his man at the 40-yard line. Marshall.
Well, Brandon Marshall and Jay Cutler renewing their old friendship. And again, Brandon Marshall, look how he goes up for that. And he is really lucky. Buffet into the back of his legs there. And that Brandon Marshall came out of it just fine. But another strike from Cutler.
5 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown for Marshall. This is Michael Bush for a couple. Let's go back to that play, that interception.
I've got it, watching it from the booth, I thought Adonijah was offside at the snap. Watch this, he's right. Watch him at the bottom of your screen. If he's not in the neutral zone at the snap of that ball, that's really an optical illusion. Now, that angle wasn't directly down the line of scrimmage, and the linesman on the side was, but that could have easily, I think, been flagged offsides. But again, you can go parallel and not get in the neutral zone. I'm just telling you, that was really close.
Cutler on 2nd and 8, getting time. And another rocket inside the 25, the rookie, Alshon Jeffrey.
And right now it's about the Chicago offensive line giving Jay Cutler a clean pocket. And Alshon Jeffrey now gets in on the party. But look at that. Now that's the way it's supposed to be done. Robert Mathis gets in there really late, but way after the fact.
Boy, that is sticking a ball right where it has to be. Here's Bush to about the 22.
There's so many skilled position players on this Bears offense. This offense has a chance to be elite, but to be elite, it's the 5 guys up front that have really got to gel. And Mike Tice will tell you that this offense is going to go as far as this offensive line can carry it.
We were talking with Lovie Smith about the offensive line, which has come under great scrutiny, and he said, show me a team that has a great offensive line around the league these days. Yeah. Cutler on the move, throwing, end zone, incomplete. And a flag. Cutler now with a 2nd and 20 and needs the 13-yard line for a first down.
Spark right. Lexi.
Colts miss Freeney in a situation like this.
Quick slant, Brandon Marshall again inside the 25 to the 24.
I never played corner, but I can't imagine that anyone volunteers to cover Brandon Marshall on a slant. I mean, this guy is big and good with his hands. You see how he bought himself a little space, and that when it's a well-thrown pass from the quarterback to a guy with that kind of physicality, tough to defend.
58.
The Bears piling up the total yard advantage.
58.
3rd and 11. Bush on the draw. Screams away from one tackler, makes it to the 16-yard line. And that'll bring on Robbie Gould in the field goal unit. Punts an interception on 4 possessions. Donald Brown in the backfield as Luck can throw. Got his man. Oh, what a diving grab by Reggie Wayne.
Reggie landed on the football when he came down, and I hope that's you all got to worry about your ribs and things like that.
Time decision, but the doctors did not clear him to play today.
No, it was up to the doctors. And you know what? Error on the side of caution.
On first down, quick slant. Too high for Avery, and a penalty marker.
Or are they going to get Jennings for getting in there early?
54.
First down at the Chicago 48.
180.
Brown with a hole up the middle. Brown spinning his way to the 30-yard line and a first down.
Well, Donald Brown, a lot of times in the old Colts offense had to run the stretch play, but Bruce Arians telling us that he really likes to run off traps, run off double teams, and that's what he got right there. Seth Olsen, 73, the left guard. Samson Satelli, a good double team in the middle. And then take a look at it. Lance Briggs gets blocked. Brian Urlacher taken to the ground with a good block. Well done by the guys up front for the Colts.
New set of downs for Luck at the Bears 30. Reggie Wayne back into the lineup. Luck throwing outside, knocked down. Chris Conte came oh so close to picking that off and going the other way.
The Bears are really happy to see Conte back at his free safety position. He dislocated his shoulder. He's wearing a harness there. And he's able to get out and get a hand on this thing. There was some question about whether or not he was going to be ready. And this has got to be one of the things that's a little surprising to Andrew Luck, that he's going to have to adjust to how quickly defensive backs in the NFL close the window.
2nd and 10. Luck, grabbed one-handed by Wayne inside the 20 to the 17 or 18-yard line.
I'm Reggie Wayne and you're not.
He's a highlight reel here in the first half.
You know what, and what a gift for a rookie quarterback to have somebody like this. Not just the presence of having been there, done that, and but a class act from day one in the National Football League, Reggie Wayne.
There's Austin Collie sitting this one out on the sideline, hoping to be back next week when the Colts are home to the Minnesota Vikings. First down, 3.5 to play, first half. This is Brown. Brown to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown.
Well, all of a sudden, the Colts offensive line just starts gashing the Bears.
Here in the first half, Forte in the backfield behind Jay Cutler. The Bears with the ball in a 3-point lead, and Cutler to throw. Wide open across the 40 to the 43 or 44-yard line. Kyle Adams.
All right, let's take a look at this real quick. Look at this line blocking up here by the Colts offensive line. Donald Brown is going to cut this thing back. He's going to get a hand on his shoulder right there by Towina. The next contact is at the 2-yard line from Chris Conte. Now the second level of the Bears defense just disappeared. He ran through a hand tackle from a defensive lineman, and the next contact was 15 yards and a safety downfield.
Cutler over the middle. Batted down, intended for Marshall. Batted down by Justin King, number 21.
Well, Justin King had inside position on Brandon Marshall. That was sensational coverage. And I mean, when Jay Cutler throws this, he's looking at more white jersey than he is the Chicago Bears jersey. I mean, you can't do it a whole lot better than Justin King did it right there.
Brandon Marshall actually appeared to slap it down to avoid the interception.
What is that?
On 2nd and 10, Cutler amongst a bevy of bodies at the line of scrimmage, and it falls incomplete. Corey Redding and Fili Moala applying the pressure.
Well, Corey Redding, Chuck Pagano was really happy to get him as a free agent from Baltimore because he'd been such a steady guy there. You know, he played for the Lions for 6 years, Seattle for 1. But Pagano trying to install this system that they ran in Baltimore is just very pleased to have somebody there who can help illustrate to the other guys how we do it.
3rd and 10.
58.
This is where the defense misses a Dwight Freeney in his pass rush. Cutler over the middle, wide open, inside the 45 to the 40, Earl Bennett.
And again, in this first half of this 2012 season, we're seeing the weapons that Jay Cutler has in his arsenal.
2 minutes to play. The Bears with 1 timeout remaining.
What is that?
They give it to Forte, who advances it to the 39. Moses Foku with the stop for the Colts.
I mean, take an even 250 yards. And if you weren't with us for the very beginning of this game, it looks like the first series looked like the Bears hadn't practiced. It looked like it was some all-star team that they just collected.
Cutler throwing, and there is Marshall. Marshall, 25. And then finds his way back to the 26-yard line. He's one of those guys, Dan, you've always talked about. He gets the ball and he kind of looks for contact.
Well, I talked to him about it. I said, when you first came into this league, you catch the ball and you look for somebody to run over. You don't look for the sideline. And he said, I told myself I'm getting older. He said, I tried it, can't do it.
Cutler with all kinds of time and over the middle. Got his man. Penalty marker is down. This is Earl Bennett to the end zone. Touchdown. And now let's check the flag, which was thrown in the secondary.
But this is a new age. And we've got receivers split out all over the place.
58, 58.
Michael Bush is in the backfield.
Rex.
Marshall one-on-one at the bottom of your screen.
What is that?
Cutler throwing in his direction off of his hand, and a penalty flag.
Another flag.
Vontae Davis covering.
Run it in from the goal line.
Michael Bush going to try to do just that. Did he get there? He did. He threw the touchdown.
Well, some of the Colts are arguing that he didn't break the plane, Jerry Hughes specifically. Michael Bush up and over. Yeah, he was very visibly across the plane. And again, Mike Tice talked about the dirty yards. Devin Hester's had a big play or two. Earl Bennett.
Well, we talked with the Colts about Andrew Luck and his ability in the 2-minute drill. He gets a little bit of it here in the final minute of play. They have all of their timeouts remaining, and they take one here. He traded for one of those now.
Yes, he would.
2nd and 3 for Luck. Time. Oh, another fine catch by Reggie Wayne.
Well, Reggie Wayne is 33 years old, and from what we've seen in the first half of this game, Father Time is being kept at bay by Reggie Wayne.
Past the stickum.
Look at that.
Holy smokes.
He's caught him one-handed. He's elevated. He's dug him out.
27 seconds on the clock.
One of the class acts of the NFL, Reggie Wayne.
Luck has his man coming across the middle, and that's Fleener. And Fleener is out of bounds in Chicago territory at about the 41-yard line.
Now, this is just invaluable experience for Andrew Luck, being able to orchestrate a drive like this, and he's doing it with pretty safe passes. The Bears are giving him a lot of room underneath, and he's taking advantage of it.
Now, we saw Adam Vinatieri lining him up in the pregame from about 55, 50.
He was knocking 55-yarders. He had the leg for it.
Noeldi Moore in the backfield. Andrew Luck on the move, throwing right in the middle is Fleener again. Fleener inside the 20 to the 19, and another timeout is called, stopping the clock with 12 seconds to play.
I guarantee you it's pretty high.
Luck 4 out of 4 for 59 yards on this drive. On first down, he's going to go for it all to the end zone. Jump ball incomplete. Intended for Donnie Avery, and Tim Jennings was there. 6 seconds remain. Starts from his own 20-yard line. Donald Brown in the backfield. And this is Brown coming to the near side. Maybe a yard as we look at some first half numbers.
And Donald Brown was a guy that came through in the first half with some effective running of the ball. But considering the way the Bears got started, that first series of theirs was just awful, and to think that they got almost 300 yards of total offense in the first half, that was some rebound.
Doubled up on first downs and almost doubled up on time of possession. Luck on 2nd and 9 with time, throwing incomplete. Fleener shadowed by Urlacher coming across the middle.
Well, I think everybody's pretty much aware we've got a lot of young quarterbacks, rookies that are making their start today, 5 altogether. There's a good look at what's going on up through halftime today. Robert Griffin III, how about that, 11-13. Tannehill, though, 0 touchdowns, 3 picks. Brandon Weeden the same. So 3 of the quarterbacks have combined for no touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Sound like rookies.
It sounds like rookies.
You're good.
3rd and 9. Luck thrown behind Chris Adams, his intended receiver.
And that's exactly what it was. It was thrown behind. I don't know if that's Luck anticipating the pattern to be run a certain way, or if it just got away from him. But now, again, the pressure falls on the lap of the Colts defense.
And now Indy has to kick to the always dangerous Devin Hester.
He's going to have room here.
Crossing the field, outrunning the pack, up the sideline, and out of bounds at about his own 44, 45-yard line. And no further word on him as yet. This is Bush to the right side and running room. 40, 35-yard line. Good hard run by Bush for a first down. So first down for Chicago at the Indianapolis 35-yard line. Matt Forte lining up behind Cutler. Far sideline, that is complete. Jeffrey, inside the 15 to about the 12.
Oh, the Colts fall down, and then Kellen Davis comes over and wipes out a pair of them. Take a look at this. The defender is on the ground. Here comes Davis, and he just drops a pair of Colts to the ground, opening up for Jeffrey back to the inside. Well, Jay Cutler will gladly go to the ground for a nice pickup like that.
23-yard pickup, first down Chicago at the 12. Forte to about the 6. And Antoine Bethea, who is back on the field, made that tackle. Hey, it's not too late to play NFL.com fantasy football. Sign up today for the official fantasy game of the NFL at NFL.com/fantasy.
I think we all have to keep in mind that this Colts defense is playing a new system. It's one that they haven't played there in a decade. And I know it's a lot of new players and everything else, but they're not nearly as experienced in this look as they're going to be. And Chicago right now taking advantage of it.
Second and 4. Forte again. Touchdown!
And that was pretty uncontested.
Something of a contentious holdout this summer, which ended in Forte getting a 4-year, $32 million contract, and every one of his Bears teammates were happy to welcome him back with open arms. Levon Brazil deep. And looks like he'll get a chance to return this one.
Off the ball.
Lost the ball. Far sideline. And it's Chicago ball. Kelvin Hayden. And they have 4 touchdowns and a field goal on their previous trips. Forte in the backfield. This is Hester. One miss. And down to the ground at the 16. He is an electrifying runner.
Yes, but he reversed his field for a very short period of time. Right there, that's just look at all the lanes up front are closed off. That's nice discipline by the Colts in that regard. They weren't the least bit surprised by that.
Loss of 4 makes it 2nd and 14.
Hey, 53, Liz, watch that guy.
There's an old-fashioned football term. Watch that guy.
Back up on the inside.
That one in yours. Cutler, all by himself out of the flat is Forte. Forte inside the 10 to the 8.
Boy, that's asking a lot of Vontae Davis, and he came up with a good tackle. Because if he doesn't get Forte down, goodbye. Talk about having to make a tackle in space. Now this is on an island, and that is answering the call. But they got there. He did come in from behind. He would have at least contested Forte on his way to the end zone. That was a nice tackle, though, by Vontae Davis.
111 total yards from scrimmage for number 22. 3rd and 6. Cutler over the middle, incomplete in the end zone, intended for Marshall.
And Cutler tries to go to Marshall even though it is an all-out double team by the Colts.
Jeff Linkenbach has replaced Winston Justice at right tackle, and there is a completed pass out across the 20 to about the 24-yard line.
This is the perfect scenario for the Bears, especially having to turn around and go to Lambeau Field on Thursday, that they can get this kind of a lead and give some of their guys a rest. And I'm not saying that the rest of this game isn't competitive, but when you're up by 20, you can afford to let Peppers, you can afford to let Urlacher with the knee take a couple series off. If things go your way, maybe they don't play the rest of the afternoon.
Find out how some youngsters perform.
55.
2nd and 6.
Wide 90.
This is Donald Brown going nowhere. Stacked up for a loss. Nick Roach led the charge from nearby Northwestern University.
It's been tough sledding for the Colts today, trying to find much room on the ground. Donald Brown had a couple good runs, but that's been about it. The Bears on the verge of going over the century mark. Brown got a couple really good, strong blocks, some double teams at the point of attack, took advantage of them, but that's been about it.
3rd and 8. Luck throwing over the middle. Penalty marker flies as that falls incomplete. Intended for Brazil.
As soon as we know something, we'll pass it along.
So Luck from the 27. Once again, in and out of the hands of Donald Brown.
Well, he had a blatant drop in the first half where we had a great look of him turning his head and looking downfield before
he might have done the same thing here
before the ball arrived.
Look
and
at
that. You don't get that classic of a look of a guy. That is textbook taking your eye off the ball. That's not even close. Your eyeballs aren't even in the same zip code as that ball.
That's a definite how not to.
Whew. Donald Brown is a little more experienced than that. Oh, confusion here on the Colts.
Luck. Oh, nice grab at the 40-yard line by Chris Adams. First-year man out of UTEP.
And Chris Adams, a nice big target, too, at 6'3". Watch him elevate. Talk about going up and getting the ball at its highest point. Nice. And, Tim Jennings, number 26 for Chicago, again, pretty good coverage. He just got out physical going up for that ball, and he had his back to it. And at 5'8", you're going to lose that contest.
So it's another first down at the 40-yard line now.
190.
This is Brown. Back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
This is a situation that Andrew Luck, unfortunately, is probably going to find himself in with some regularity this season, with a young team that's trying to find its way. Chuck Pagano trying to build a base. He's going to play a lot of football this year, trailing. And talk about trial by fire and learning along the way, and that's unfortunately going to be the reality for Andrew Luck and this Colts offense probably a lot this year.
On 2nd and 9, the slant, and what a hit. Pass is incomplete at the 45-yard line. Donnie Avery was belted by Kelvin Hayden.
Well, Kelvin Hayden, a Chicago native, well, look at him drive on this. But again, folks, that is the perfect way to do it. The defenseless receiver, that's all shoulder, no helmet. You hit him in the midsection. You don't make contact with the head. That'll be on the training film of how to hit a receiver.
3rd and 9. Luck on the move, throws, got his man. That's Reggie Wayne for a first down. To the Chicago 41. 18 yards.
Boy, and Andrew Luck, again, we talked about this at the beginning of our telecast today. His pocket presence and ability to move around buy himself a little extra time, but never as he's moving. Watch him move his feet. Watch him move in the pocket. His eyes never come off of the downfield target. He's not looking at the rush. He's only looking at open receivers.
Blue 90! Blue 90!
Luck right in the middle of the field to Fleener. Fleener inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. And a little touch on that ball.
And that was nice. That was a touch pass. Even though it was downfield, Andrew Luck floated this in and right onto the palms of Kobe Fleener. I mean, he took something off of that. He just arced it right over the top of Nick Roach. And Fleener showing a little fight after he catches that football. He just took Chris Connie and said, "Get out of my way."
And suddenly the Colts are in the red zone. First down at the 17.
Watch him! Watch him! Watch him!
Luck throwing, tipped in the air, incomplete inside the 5-yard line, intended for Reggie Wayne. You know, you're talking about Andrew Luck's mobility, and you asked him last night, Dan, what was it that he felt he had to work on, and he said footwork.
He said, the quickness of my feet. I know I'm going to the NFL where everything is quicker, and I just want to move my feet quicker. You know, let's look at it right here. Again, coming out, but squaring back up. You know, that's just well done. That is perfect technique. Keeping your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage and a good position to deliver a solid football.
Luck 4 out of 7 for 60 yards on this drive. Donald Brown straight up the middle to the 10.
And you notice he's tackled by Julius Peppers. Lovie Smith said, well, resting my guys is only going so far.
Hey, do it!
Luck tipped and intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Chris Conti up the near sideline and down at the 33-yard line. The young man tried to force it into Reggie Wayne and couldn't get it there.
Well, the Colts went completely empty backfield, so there was no question that it was going to be a pass. Reggie Wayne, 87, split all the way to the outside. You can see that Jennings just really gambles. He had his hands around Reggie Wayne's waist. I'm sure Reggie feels that he was held. But give Jennings credit at the end. He comes underneath, and he flipped it right to Conti.
There you go, Chris! 180! What is that?
This is Forte. I believe these are called growing pains, aren't they, Dan?
Yes, sure they are. And that's, you know, it's just to be expected. And look at him. Look at what he's doing. He's going, hey, everything's all right. Everything, you know, we'll work through it. No going down there and sitting on the end of the bench by yourself, and there's no use pouting.
Chuck Pagano says about the only thing he can't do is sing.
Yeah, you know, and he said he's not joking.
That's horrible.
He said that's just like somebody stepping on a cat's tail or something. It's awful.
180! What is that?
Pass out here to Devin Hester. Can't shake a tackle, and he's down at about the 28.
Gerard Powers, he had Hester by the ankle, and he was not going to give it up. And again, it's, you know, Mike Tice, one of the things he's trying to do is just come up with how many different ways can I get the football to Devin Hester and get it to him out in space. And that's what you wanted. He got a one-on-one, and you got to give Gerard Powers credit. But more often than not, Devin Hester will win that one-on-one out in space, especially if he gets a step
58.
separation and ability to make a move.
Hey, open, line open.
3rd and 13 for Cutler. And he goes down in the face of a big rush led by number 98 Robert Mathis and also Jarrell Freeman.
180!
Luck on first down from his own 46, going to throw it. overshot his tight end, Fleener, in the middle of the field.
Well, Brian Urlacher still on the sidelines for the Bears. Although everybody else, the frontline guys are still out there. Peppers is out there. Briggs is still playing. But this is a smart move by Lovie Smith, letting Urlacher, let him rest that knee again, the turnaround having to play on Thursday.
This is Donald Brown for a first down. Let's check in once again in New York. James Brown and Boomer Esiason, guys.
St. Louis trying to get a little space from Detroit.
I'll tell you what, guys, upsetting to make it. Sam Bradford lays it right in there perfectly to Brandon Gibson. That's 23 yards. St. Louis on top right now. 19-13 game is being played in Detroit.
Awaiting a point after. Back to Greg and Dan.
Thank you, guys. You know, Dan, I mentioned to you earlier, I thought from everything I've seen in the preseason, young Mr. Bradford's throwing the football pretty well.
Yeah, he had a tough year last year, and you're right. He's looks good in the preseason so far in his third year.
Luck hit from behind. The ball is picked off at the 41-yard line. Julius Peppers. No, and now it's ruled incomplete. So first down, Bears at their own 41.
180! 180!
Forte. Can't turn the corner on Cavell Connor. And we come up on the last minute and a half of the third quarter.
Well, you learn a lot about a team when we move into this fourth quarter. Specifically talking about the Colts and their growing process, and this is especially defensively now. Can they muscle up and force a Chicago punt? Because the last number of series that the Bears have been on offense, they have just plowed right through them.
Bears pick up the blitz. Cutler over the middle and almost intercepted by Antoine Bethea.
Well, Bethea did everything perfectly except intercept the ball. Jay Cutler's just looking right down the middle of the field. The blitz is picked up. A good job by Forte of picking up the blitz. But look how Bethea reads it, jumps in front.
You've got two Bears converging on the same spot.
Nice job by Matt Forte of sticking his face right in there and picking up the blitz of
Open
Moses
92.
Foku.
We got 58.
Third and 13.
Rex!
Quick slant, Brandon Marshall. Marshall spinning to midfield, reaching for the first down.
Oh, and you're not kidding, reaching. He really tried to stretch that thing out there.
Hey, push! Push it! 190!
So Luck from his own 20. On the move, looking, gonna run it, and out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Luck from the 26-yard line. That pass is complete, and out across the 45 is Reggie Wayne.
Well, everybody was wondering about Brian Urlacher and how would, if he played, would he be effective? Would he move well? Little snippet of some of the things that he's accomplished so far, chasing down Reggie Wayne. Tips a pass right here. Now the important thing is when this game is over that the knee doesn't swell, that he doesn't experience a lot of discomfort, and that he can get good work in before the game Thursday at Lambeau.
This is Ballard, the rookie. Dan, you said a lot of people have been talking about it. You know who didn't say much about it? Because we saw the Bears 2 weeks ago in a preseason game. Lovie Smith didn't say much about it, and Urlacher didn't say much about it. They were both pretty solid in that Brian Urlacher would be here opening day.
That's all they would say. We don't understand the fuss. Brian will be there on September the 9th when we play the Colts. He's on pace to practice that week, and that's exactly what happened. Now he's 34 years old with a bulky knee. That's not going away.
The final year of his contract, too. Luck to Reggie Wayne. And Wayne to the 31.
You know, I have nothing but admiration for Reggie Wayne. Being a veteran and really being there for the kid as he tries to find his way in this league. And folks, that was a good-looking pass. Look how tight that spiral was, right onto the hands of Reggie Wayne. But what an asset for Andrew Luck to have a guy like Reggie Wayne in his huddle.
And for Wayne's part, he says it's like being a rookie all over again. This is Ballard. And Ballard wrapped up just as he crossed the line of scrimmage. Boy, Reggie Wayne has been quite the performer today.
Yeah, if you're wondering whether Reggie's still got some game, check a couple of these out. How about that one laying out for it? Talk about laying out, and he paid the price. He landed on the ball. Then a little one-handed action. Never does get his left hand involved. Reggie Wayne has shown what it means to be a professional. 8 catches, 128 yards. Well done, and we're just starting the 4th.
Andrew Luck at 239 yards now and counting. 2nd and 10. Luck and right through the hands of Fleener.
Well, this just gives you a little indication that if you look to the right, 44 starts among the 5 other wide receivers on the roster against Reggie's 160. 11,700 receiving yards. But again, in a situation, I know he's paid handsomely to do it, but Reggie Wayne is not going to mail this season in.
3rd and 10. Luck throwing and overthrows. Donnie Avery.
Oh, and he's just mad at himself because Avery came back. Avery came back, broke loose, got open. And this time when Luck comes out, he's running forward, and the ball just sails on him. It just flat gets away from him. Avery had really come back and put himself in a position to move the chains.
So the Colts and Luck going to go for it here on 4th and 10. Down 20 points, 12-16 to play in regulation time. With time, over the middle, got his man. That's complete to Chris Adams for a first down inside the 20.
Well, let's take a look at the blocking up front and see what it looks like from behind. Nice blitz pickup, nice game rather pickup on the inside between the left guard, left tackle. And a nice strike from Andrew Luck. Floating a little bit to his left, hitting a receiver that's breaking across from left to right. Well done.
Luck sideline pass, and that's complete to Wayne. You know, you mentioned floating. That's something Dan Marino used to do pretty well in the backfield.
You sure could. You know. Now Dan wasn't a threat to run downfield with the ball.
He will tell you differently.
Well, he can say whatever he wants. But sure, all great quarterbacks. You know, Tom Brady's not a threat to take off with the football. Peyton Manning wasn't a threat to take off with the ball. But they all had tremendous lateral movement between the tackles. You only have to move a yard or two to buy yourself an extra second or two. You don't have to be Usain Bolt.
2nd and 3. Quick slant. That is complete to the 5-yard line to Avery. And that's a 1st and goal.
Well, this is, again, a good-looking drive by the Colts. Now, I know the Bears are up by 20 points, and maybe their focus isn't quite what it should be. But effective is effective, and that's what the Colts have been on this drive.
And number 12 is getting a little game experience. Ballard in the backfield.
What he'd like to have is a touchdown pass.
Looking, throwing, incomplete.
Andrew Luck has a pair of interceptions and no touchdown passes. And you know, just a little bit outside Reggie's reach where he could make a play on it.
He's caught just about everything else today.
Well, yeah.
Chuck Pagano, first year growing pains for the coach, too. Second and goal. Quick slant, touchdown!
There it is. There it is. You're off the snide. Wow, what he did the rest of the first half was pretty special.
This is Matt Forte as the Colts try to make a defensive stand here in the fourth quarter. And we got a fracas in the middle of the field.
All right, let's not. Robert Mathis and Jamarcus Webb seem to be
two little guys.
Well, Robert Mathis is a little guy compared to Jamarcus Webb. Mathis is 6'2", 245 for a defensive end. Linebacker, not that big. Jamarcus 6'7",
Line open, line open.
333, and that didn't include breakfast.
He's in his third year, so he's still growing.
What is that?
Butler on 2nd and 9. Far sideline. Oh, nice catch made by Brandon Marshall.
Boy, I tell you what, Gerard Powers had such tight coverage, and Marshall and Cutler both read it, and Cutler goes back shoulder. See, watch this. Marshall sees that he went back shoulder, dropped it short, and he can make the adjustment because he's looking at the quarterback of the ball, and Powers can't. Powers tries to fly through the air. That was a beautiful adjustment by Brandon Marshall to the football that was correctly and accurately thrown short by Jay Cutler.
Marshall having himself a fine day. Forte trying to turn the corner. Stays in bounds and now dances across the 45. Brandon Marshall once had 21 receptions in a game against the Colts back in the 09 season.
An NFL record.
Today, he's 9 for 119 and a touchdown.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne has 9 catches on the other side for the Colts as well. So the big-time receivers are posting some big-time numbers here on opening day.
On 2nd and 7. Forte across midfield to the 48-yard line, about a yard short of a first down.
I'm sure Lovie Smith would like to see nothing more than the Bears hammer away and string out a couple first downs, keep this clock running. You want anything to help this offensive line to gel. We talked earlier about the importance of this offensive line here in Chicago Bearland, and he wants them to experience success and to grow.
3rd and 1. Michael Bush has the first down.
I'll tell you what, Phil Emery, the new GM of the Bears, Michael Bush was a very nice addition, a nice free agent signing from Oakland, because what a compliment he is to Matt Forte. He will save a lot of wear and tear on Matt Forte doing the heavy lifting inside.
9 carries for 37 yards and 2 touchdowns today for Michael Bush. Forte back into the backfield on first down, and he'll get the handoff. And Brandon Marshall comes back onto the field. You know, tells you how much these Bears needed Brandon Marshall when you look back to last season and realize that Matt Forte was not only their leading rusher, but their leading receiver.
You would have preferred to have that be a wide out. I don't think Forte is going to have to worry about that this year.
2nd and 7.
Brandon Marshall should have over 100 receptions.
Cutler going deep for Jeffrey. End zone. Got it!
Well, Alshon Jeffrey spiked that ball and then wisely went and chased it.
The kid can run.
He wants to keep that memento. Now that is right over the top of both the corner and the safety. Vontae Davis can't get there. Bethea is not in a position.
0-2 to play here in the 4th quarter. From the 19-yard line, Andrew Luck. Crossing pattern, that's Reggie Wayne in the middle, is ruled down.
No, they're going to rule it incomplete now, I think.
Yep, incomplete. Andrew Luck with a touchdown pass here today in his first NFL game. His father, Oliver Luck, also threw a TD pass in his first NFL game with Houston.
Well, there's a piece of trivia that I didn't know.
Hey, look, gang.
Luck throwing low, but the catch is made at the 29-yard line by Mewelde Moore.
And the Bears right now more than willing to give Andrew Luck all that little stuff underneath.
You know, Dan, I was thinking back to Alshon Jeffrey, his first career NFL touchdown reception, and having had the opportunity to speak with him, you know very well that his reaction will probably be, thanks.
He's soft-spoken would be an understatement, wouldn't it? Well, Chuck Pagano, he has got an opportunity that he just relishes having. Never been a head coach at any level, entrusted with the Indianapolis Colts, and he's getting to do it his way.
Luck had a tip at the line of scrimmage, incomplete.
You know, he's got a new GM and Brian Grigson. You know, he's got an owner in Jim Irsay that is going to let him coach these guys up. But it's going to take a while. No coach wants to admit that, but it's going to take a while.
But everybody is aware of it.
Yeah, it's going to take some good drafts. It's going to take some more good free agent signings.
And perhaps the most impressive thing Chuck Pagano had to say about Andrew Luck is that whoever we put on the field to play with him, he will raise their level of play. And Luck is going to go down.
Well, just know where to go with the football, and that's your only choice, just to eat it. Take a look at it here. The pressure coming up the middle, but then you see Briggs coming in off the edge. The pocket just totally disintegrates.
On first down, this is Michael Bush. Michael Bush with running room off the right side, 45, 47-yard line.
Flag back, though. Than the 11 version.
54.
And they were pretty good last year.
On first and 20.
So the question is, you know, they're in a superior division, you know, with the Lions and the Packers, and the Packers at 15-1 a year ago. By rights, you say they own the division, and they do. But this is a football team that used to rely on defense to win close, low-scoring games, and the Bears can now get in a shootout. The Bears, you know, as we see 41 on the board here today, with this offensive firepower, they're in a position where they could start lighting up the scoreboard like Green Bay. I mean, who knows what the score of that thing might be Thursday night.
But talk about the opportunity to make a statement early in the season. This is Michael Bush.
I'm just
when he's wrapped up.
Greg, when you've talked about the Chicago Bears in the recent past, and I'm talking like the last 10. When's the last time you ever used the word getting in an offensive shootout with the Bears?
Right.
It just wasn't. It's not in Lovie Smith's character. He's a defensive, and they didn't have the talent to do it, but they certainly do now. This could be Mike Tyson, his gang here on the offensive side of things. They could take a lot of pressure off the Bears defense by scoring a ton of points.
This Bears team averaged 22.1 points a game last year. They stand to score a lot more than that this year per game.
I think so.
3rd and 15 for Cutler.
58 the point. What is it?
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bush. And Bush across the 20 to the 22-yard line. Charles Tillman has not returned since injuring a leg for the Bears. Luck with the quick pass outside to Fleener. But right there to make the play is Major Wright. And they'll get off at least another one before the 2-minute warning. Incomplete. So they'll get off another play here, 2:04 to play.
Well, Andrew Luck has had a little bit of everything happen to him here today. He's had some success. He's closing in on 300 yards passing. But his team's going to lose the football game, and he's got 3 turnovers.
And when we talked to him last night, wasn't kidding himself, knows all about the pressures of stepping into a role that was once owned by Peyton Manning, knows all about being the #1 pick overall and what the expectations are.
Monday.
Lots of pressure up the middle, and he goes down at the 35. 4th and 15, Andrew Luck and the Colts going to go for it. They need the Bears 47 for a first down. Luck throwing, sideline. Avery is there, and he's got the first down.
In that area there beyond the corner and before the safety gets over.
309 yards on the day, and Luck looking for more. Throwing it the other way, and they threw it. Intercepted by Tim Jennings. Jennings down at the 26-yard line.
Well, Andrew Luck this time just doesn't see Jennings undercutting the pattern. The ball comes up way short. Chris Adams was his intended receiver.
That's some pretty good elevation.
Yes, it is. But he elevated on a ball that was way short of where it needed to be.
And one more snap, and that'll do it. Brian Urlacher here as promised. Andrew Luck showed us he can throw the football around the field, but has a ways to go. Jay Cutler has his offense in place, and the Chicago Bears come away with a 20-point win. Our final score, the Chicago Bears 41, the Colts 21.